There's a lot of benefits we get from a vacation time.
One of the most important health benefits I get is I get to spend time alone with you.
Yay, that's the best,
It-
man. I like it.
yes, it's time to just rekindle, recommunicate, reconnect, go for a walk on the beach, be in clean air.
Recommended as a hard, healthy food, but then you turn around, it's got all kinds of sugar in it. I think, what is this nonsense and who believes that?
Sugar is red dyes, blue dyes, yellow
If
dyes.
we don't know how to read the labels and don't know what we're looking for, we're going to fall for that trap every time. Well, yes. Few really understand the idea that the body can only heal when it's in a fasted state.
Oh, say that again.
The body can only heal when the body's in a fasted state. If the body's in a fed state, it will not heal. But do you feel like you might need a sanitary break sometime? Or maybe a sanity break sometime, I should say. Let's do that one more time. Do you feel like you might need a sanity break sometime? Little R&R? How about a good old-fashioned vacay? Little vacation time. I don't know about you, but my wife and I enjoy those vacation times. But it's not just about getting away. It's actually about a health recuperative concept. And so there's a lot of benefits we get from a vacation time.
One of the most important health benefits I get is I get to spend time alone with you.
Yay, that's the best, man. I like it.
Yes, it's time to just rekindle, recommunicate, reconnect, go for a walk on the beach, be in clean air, away from the stimulus, no cell phones, no having to answer emails and questions constantly. Now, don't get us wrong, we love what we do, but when you take a vacation, it's a break from the stressors. Living in that high-pitched autonomic fight or flight system all the time is not really good for anybody. And for myself, I know that when I come back from a vacation, I'm actually energized and I enjoy my job more.
The funny thing about a vacation for us is we've learned there's short vacations like weekends, or there's staycations. People can stay home and just not work, or stay home and do yard work or something like that. Might be a vacation. But sometimes we found that when you get away, it takes 3 or 4 days to sort of unwind and
At
kind of
least.
reset yourself before you go, wow, I was really stressed out. I was really wound tight, and my autonomic nervous system was pinging up the top
Yeah,
cylinders
we're
there.
living out of bounds, so to speak.
Yeah, and when I use that
Fight or
analogy of
flight.
living out of bounds, it's like the car is meant to be on the road, but living out of bounds is where we're too high, we're off in the ditch, and then we try to relax and we get in the other ditch. Then it's time to go back to work, we get in the other ditch. That car won't run very long when it's driving in the ditches. And so we are made to sort of chill out, relax. And, our producer over there was telling us before we started this one about one of his grandchildren was pretending to be sleeping in the back, and they asked if she was sleeping because, no, I'm just chilling. So sometimes to get away on a vacation is chilling.
Yeah, it creates a better general overall sense of well-being. You feel better about yourself. I can't tell you how many patients come to me and say, I don't have any food allergies. I don't have any allergies. I don't have any itchy skin when I'm on vacation. So it tells us when we come back and we get into that hyper stress mode, the immune system becomes flared up and these things return.
Now, when people decide to take a vacation, it doesn't have to be a high ticket item. Can be, but it doesn't have to be. So you have to think about how often we should do these things, how much we can and how much we should spend, and where we might want to go. Some people get stressed out to fly. Some people don't get stressed out to fly. Some people prefer driving. Some people like warmer temperatures, a beach, for example. Some people like to go to a mountain, maybe going to Colorado or something like that. So you got to find out a place where, if you're going as a couple, both of you might enjoy, and then you budget it out and figure out where you want to go. And then I believe you got to get them on the calendar. I mean, we do this every year. I mean, this is some of the stuff that we do, right? So we'll plan a bigger vacation summertime and then a bigger vacation between Christmas and New Year. We've done that for years, and it sort of gives us something to look forward to, doesn't it?
It absolutely, it kind of boosts your happiness a little bit if you know that something is coming up that is a break from the stressors. Now, I'm not a person that has ever thought about working 6, 7 days a week as ever bringing me to a place of burnout. But as the years go by, I realize that, oh, that little bit of vacation actually reverses that burnout sensation or feeling.
Well, it can, and we need to do this anyway. I mean, you can take, I mean, for me, even a sense of, like going on a date night on Friday night, when we spend that time together where there's nobody around, that is even a sense of a vacation. A vacation to me is not necessarily changing locations, but it's changing the position about how you think, what you're doing, who you're around, from your constant day-to-day grind of a job, for
That's
example.
right. Well, and when we go out on a Friday night, we make sure not to take the phones or to leave the phones in the car and to make sure that we are just connecting with one another because that's
Yep.
just it. That's important time to foster our relationship and to put the stressors to the side.
Well, it is, and we need a vacation more. There's so many times we see couples in our office that are struggling with their health. And I watch them. They struggle with their health. That equals struggles with their relationship. They're so stressed. I was talking to a couple recently, just as 2 days ago, that had just finished this big old election campaign because we recently had some elections,
Yes.
some primary elections, and they had finished this race. They didn't win the election, and they were so burnt out. And I said, "Doctor's orders, schedule a vacation. We're going to." I said, "No, no, no, no. Next time I talk to you,
Orders.
I want a vacation scheduled." And they're like, "Okay." And so hopefully they did that. It's a big deal. With vacations, though, folks, you got to take some time. I mean, I don't know who we have to take some time.
Avoid burnout.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but man, I want to get away sometimes. So we always look forward to the escape, if you will, not an escape of loving you as our folks in our community, but as an escape, just give us time to get away. It's important. So if you're out there and you find yourself in a rut, doing the same old things again, and the idea of vacation sounds so good, well, do it. Excuses are like the backside of Rosie the pig. The closer you get to them, they stink. So don't make excuses. Make a vacation time right now. And I promise you, when you get back, the situation may not change, but your viewpoint of the situation will.
Fake foods can be a marketing propaganda.
Frankenfoods will kill you. Coming up next to find out what they are.
Our Kingdom Candy with a K again. 2 flavors. We got salted
Delicious.
caramel and peanut butter. These are great. I mean, they're
kind of like a complete meal.
they're 200 calories. People want to know that all the time, and not that we're worried about calories, but these things have great ingredients. They're not sweetened with sugars. They don't have those false sugars or fake sugars, artificial
They've got
sugars.
fiber in them.
They do. It's interesting. Salted caramel crunch is our newest flavor. We'll come up with some other stuff at some point, but those can bridge the gap of that sweet tooth craving. They're sweetened with monk fruit, and that's really, if you know what that is, it's not going to raise blood sugar.
It's really only 2 grams of sugar. I refer to it as the sweet without the cheat.
Any of these things out here are designed to be money-saving, nutrition-giving, and life-enhancing, and this is a big deal. So you'll find out, like thousands of other people did, that these things will help you live healthy longer. Now we have it, Kingdom Crunch.
It's important to start breakfast off with a power-packed punch. You want a complete amino acid score, good protein. If you turn the label over and look at the back of the box, there is no added sugars in either one of these flavors, either peanut butter or acai bowl.
Peanut butter has 11 grams of high-quality protein. Acai bowl has 8. Peanut butter has 11 grams of carbohydrate, acai bowl 12, and both of them have good solid fat content at 6 grams. Very filling, very healthy.
You will be fueling yourself with high quality fuel, starting off the day right. You can even use Kingdom Crunch as a snack in the middle of the day if you just have a craving and you want to eat something that is good for you, it has a crunch, and doesn't have a lot of calories.
There you go. diabetic friendly, keto friendly, paleo friendly, Kingdom Crunch, and
Child friendly. Exploring biohacking, bioharmonizing, biosynergizing, stacking, resilience, or anti-fragility?
start here. No gimmicks, just proven results.
There's a lot of fake food out there that you might just be better off without. Let's talk about some of these fake healthy foods.
Well, you better be an expert at reading labels because those labels will lie to you. I've seen that time and time again. I've seen on cereal boxes before, just as an example to sort of lead to this discussion. Recommended as a hard, healthy food, but then you turn around, it's got all kinds of sugar in it. And think, what is this nonsense and who believes that?
Sugars, red dyes, blue dyes, yellow
If
dyes.
we don't know how to read the labels and don't know what we're looking for, we're going to fall for that trap every time.
Would you think that baked potato chips are a healthy option?
No, I wouldn't, because many times the baked potato chips, not only do they have a lot of trans fat, hydrogenated fat baked in there, but they've got burned oils in there. And it is so bad that it actually creates oxidation in your vessels and oxidation in your cells. They are terrible for you.
So what does that oxidation do to the size of the LDL cholesterol particle?
Very important. We hear that LDL is bad. So again, different segment, different day. But LDL carries cholesterol as part of its function. So cholesterol, in other words, is on for a piggyback ride in LDL. It doesn't matter how much we have. What matters is the size of those particles. When you have foods that contain those burned oils and hydrogenated fats like chips, it will take your particles and it will shrink them down. And those small particles create big problems. What big problems I'm talking about? I'm talking about atherosclerosis or heart disease process. There you go.
What about diet soda? Is that a healthy option?
No, some of those artificial sweeteners in it, like aspartame, saccharin, sucralose, some of those are the ingredients that form formaldehyde. So formaldehyde is used to pickle dead people. So if you go ahead and drink Diet Coke, you're just preparing yourself to be pickled, the way I look at it.
Well, a lot of times we have now seen that those alternatives, the diet drinks, disrupt the gut microbiome.
Well, they do. They're not natural at all. So, I've even heard people say, and I agree with this, that it's probably better to drink a real Coke than it is a Diet Coke or something like that. Or diet drink, I should have probably said. But the bottom line is this. Neither is good. One of them has too much sugar. The other one has things that will kill you and give you cancer and disturb your microbiome. So they're both bad. Avoid them.
When we are reaching for dried fruits, what happens to the sugar content in those dried fruits? They're touted as a healthy option.
Oh, we see this all the time. You'll see these fruit trays that people will get, and they might have raisins and dried pineapples and dried oranges and apples and things like that. They do taste good, but here's the deal. Drying of the fruit increases the sugar content and sugar load. It'll drive your blood sugar faster. And even a lot of the dried fruits you see within boxes, they actually have added sugar in them. So that is a recipe for disaster.
We know that juicing has been touted as a healthy option. When we drink just straight green juice, we're pulling out the fibers and we're pulling out some of the other components of the plant. Is green juice really a healthy option?
Well, I suppose some of the phytonutrients that are there we maintain.
green juice that has maybe a kale and some spinach and things like that are blended together probably have some benefits. But like you said, we lose the option of fiber. Fiber is super important for our gut microbiome. It's super important for LDL cholesterol, and it's super important for health. Most of our juices today, though, have a bunch of fruit juices in there. And so it's just pure sugar. When you eat a piece of apple or eat an apple and take a bite of it and chew it, that's different than having apple juice. Apple juice is pure sugar. The apple has the sugar, the fructose in it, in its natural form, companion with fiber.
The other thing that we have to think about with juicing is how much of that plant substance does it take to make a glass of juice. So even though it may be green, you're still having to utilize a lot to get X amount of juice. So there's still going to be a lot of sugar there, carbohydrate.
Oh yeah, blend the whole veggie in the thing and don't throw away the fiber. Blend it and don't juice it.
I was at the airport the other day and I picked up something off one of the vending shelves, and they were yogurt covered pretzels that said good for your health.
Yeah, that's people that believe that label need to have their head examined, literally, because that is a pretzel which has this hydrogenated fat, and it's a fried pretzel with nothing but sugar on there. And so you're going to make yourself a diabetic and hurry with that one. Thank you for not buying this, by the way.
Yeah, they aren't in our household.
No.
Veggie chips.
Yeah. Sounds good, doesn't it? But again, a lot of these
They're
things...
veggies, aren't they veggies?
Well,
Are they made from veggies?
But that's like looking at something that has one ingredient and saying, that's what I buy it for, that one ingredient, but have 5 bad ones. That's what veggie chips are. Many times they do have that trans fat or hydrogenated fat. They do have the effect, their palm oil, soy or canola oil. Those are terrible for your system and goes back to that cellular aging process.
So I think if you're going to eat veggie chips, make them yourself with
Yes.
a dehydrating piece of machinery instead of getting them from the store. Those are mainly just potato starch and hydrogenated oils, or oils that have been oxidized, which are not good for your health.
That's right. Like we've got some kale chips that are good, and you can find stuff out there. You just got to read the labels. And the bottom line is with these foods out there, there's a bunch of them out there that are like frankenfoods, faux foods, and they're label trickery. And so we've given you some tools here. Read the label, and if you want more information on stuff like this, we talk about it all the time, you go to our website at Sherwood.tv. We have a bunch of educational blogs. You can see all of our segments here on Furthermore as well.
Let's shine the spotlight on one of our star supplements.
The human body can make most of the types of fats it needs from other fats or raw materials, but not omega-3 fatty acids, also called omega-3 fats or N3 fats.
These are essential fats that the body must get from food.
Biomega 1000 provides a dose of omega-3 essential fatty acids sourced from a strategically placed fishing facility in the far South Pacific Ocean off the coast of Chile.
Each capsule delivers an impressive 1,000 milligrams of EPA and DHA, and the capsules also contain vitamin E. See the link below for a special offer, and remember, don't be fooled by cheap online knockoffs.
Introducing OK Movie Stream, your ticket to a world of cinematic classics and wonders, right from the heart of Oklahoma and the surrounding areas.
The Neals are moving to Oklahoma.
Dive into a world of captivating stories and extraordinary talent, all on OK Movie Stream.
Oh yeah, I did. You see, I gave you a crazy look because I
Choose the option that suits you best. Watch for free with commercials, binge watch your favorites for 3 days, or unlock ad-free streaming for just $10 a year. Join the OK Movie Stream community today and embark on a cinematic journey like never before.
Our flagship product is called Kingdom Fuel. Tell us a little bit about Kingdom Fuel and why it's so good.
We saw people struggling with the idea and concept of it's too expensive to eat healthy. So we thought, okay, that's the problem. Let's find a solution. So we found a solution for $5 or under per meal. And that represented the birth of the idea of Kingdom Fuel. So Kingdom Fuel is organic pea protein. It's got greens and reds in it. So this is the the phytonutrients from green plants and red plants that we all talk about. Eat your vegetables, right? It's also got vitamins and minerals in it. So it's got a complete complex of that. And it's got also soluble and insoluble fiber, which the difference between the two is profound. Soluble actually gathers moisture and makes you full, and the insoluble goes through the system and grabs things like damaged particles.
The body runs on nutrients, it doesn't run on medication. And Kingdom Fuel is a complete multivitamin and
Yep.
mineral. Fasting is a buzzword out there today. We're going to talk about fasting pros and cons. And is fasting the only diet that you need? Now, food is fuel for your body, but it can be very tricky to get the right nutrients, the right combination of nutrients. And intermittent fasting, is it an approach that can actually help people be healthier?
Well, yes. Few really understand the idea that the body can only heal when it's in a fasted state.
Oh, say that again.
The body can only heal when the body's in a fasted state. If the body's in a fed state, it will not heal because the body
the healing is delayed.
Yeah,
or
it's
slowed
dealing
down.
with what's inside the body. That's why our immune system predominantly is around the GI tract, because this thing right here is open to the world. You know, this is the outside entry point to the things about, you know. But the bottom line is fasting gives the body a chance to go around, repair, salvage, restructure, rebuild, etc. So it's really good for us.
So intermittent fasting, there's a lot of ways that people can intermittent fast. Some people will take 12 hours. Some
Yep.
people will take 14 hours. Some people will do 16 or 18 hours. And there's even those that'll do 24 to 48 hours. That can be an intermittent fast. Periods of time where you go without eating, and then periods of time that you go with eating. In the person who has never done a fast before, what would you recommend?
12 hours. I would say try to eat your last meal 2 hours before bed. And then when you get up, try to delay your first meal for an hour after you typically have it, if you can. So it would look like maybe if you go to bed at 10 o'clock, it would be like your meal at 8, last meal 8 p.m., your first meal the next day at 8 a.m. That'd be a 12-hour time without fast. You know, we've done multiple segments in the past about sleeping. You know, people shouldn't be getting in the middle of the night and eating for that reason as well.
Right. There is also something called the 5 and 2 fast, where they fast or they eat a regular daily nutritional protocol for 5 days, and then they fast or cut their calories back to maybe 500
Yeah.
calories a day for 2 days. What do you think the effectiveness of that is?
Well, I think from a evolutionary standpoint, you know, we are hunter-gatherers by nature, and our genes have changed 2%. That's it, 2% in 10,000 years. So we're not designed to be eating from a regular rhythmic sort of style because food's not around all the time, you know. So we are more designed to have this intermittent availability of food. And so that can be very effective. I think the more you sort of add the different types of intermittent fasting in there, the more frequently you do that, the better it is, because it does keep the body guessing, yes, which is biologically a good thing because it keeps us adapting and makes more resiliency to the times of lack or the times of plenty. But it also can help keep your weight under control as well.
Now, I think from my perspective, the 5 and 2 is great because there's feeding and there's a semi-fasting. So there's building and cleaning. The downside to that would be somebody who does the standard American diet 5 days a week and just trashes the system and then fasts or tries to pull it in for 2. There's not going to be really the health benefits that a person who is doing these fasting regimens unless they're actually changing their nutritional protocol, you know, for the long haul 24/7.
Well, that's right. There's some practitioners out there that say, well, if you can compress the time at which you eat during the day so that you consume all your calories between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. a day, that's actually better, even if you eat terrible. That's probably true to a point.
Because it gives the body some time to clean.
Yeah. But it's not okay to put in trash. You know, it's never okay. So don't think about it like this. We're thinking about how to use fasting and how does it work in the body all things being equal and all things being right, how does it benefit you? We don't really use it to lose weight. We use it to gain health. And that's a very important concept. So the more you can work that in, the better you can sort of change the intake of food to be good beneficial nutrients, the better it will be.
Yes, so there's a lot of good pros to fasting. Of course, weight loss can be one
Oh,
of them.
totally.
Lowering blood sugars or controlling type 2 diabetes is another one. When you get weight off, of course, oftentimes we see that blood pressure come down. And wouldn't it be great to get off diabetic medication, blood pressure medication, and if we get nutrition really under control, potentially even cholesterol medication?
Yeah, there's no question that eating correctly, step one, and then learning how to intermittent fast, step two, is great, because when you go without food for a time, your blood sugar obviously goes down. Insulin also goes down. Insulin is the hormone that acts as a fat storing hormone. So if you can keep insulin nice and low, you don't get that persistency of fat accumulation, which is really, really cool. You can still exercise, you can still work out, because the body will sort of alternatively pick up the growth hormone in times of fasting, because from a biological perspective, our body's not designed to lose muscle. It's designed to hang on to it in times of fasting so we can go out and work or generate activity to go catch our next meal, right? So that's the way it's supposed to work. And that's why personally, I prefer about an 18-hour fast. So I'll generally have my last meal around 6 o'clock p.m. and I probably won't eat.
So if you're eating at 6, I'm eating at 6.
That's right. We do that. And then typically we don't really eat the first meal of the day until sometime at noon or after. So we are the next day. So we're significantly compressing the times in which we eat, and we're significantly elongating the times at which we don't eat, which gives your body a chance to heal.
So another real big pro about fasting is it decreases that thing called inflammation. And
Totally.
inflammation, I mean, what is fat? Fat is inflammation. It's unnecessary flesh that doesn't necessarily need to be there. And for every pound you're overweight, it's times 10 on the joints and times 10 on the cardiovascular system. So all those health effects get better, and inflammation goes down. And inflammation is the root of all chronic sickness and disease. And when we get rid of inflammation, we put quality in our years, not just time in our years, and we spend less time with adult toys. Walkers, wheelchairs, crutches, and canes.
Yeah, it's, with the intermittent fasting, it's not just about, getting healthy. Think about your biological aging processes. I mean, I want my biological age to be aging at an appropriate rate, not inappropriate, where people are at right now. So mix in some intermittent fasting, use the tips we talked about today, and you'll see your body composition get better, but you'll also see your body performance get better as well.